what made you switch to wrestling, like,
or
to become a wrestler?
I got tricked into being a wrestler.
Dang.
Like, but I'm gonna keep it real.
No, yeah.
Like, you're mad because a guy has a contract or he has a job and he's going out there to go do his job.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so let's just keep it real. The same guys that say that are probably the same guys that were quick to go to AEW Dark and go job for AEW just to go be on TV.
Yeah. You know, this guy has it. And I don't know what it is, but it seems like you have it.
No, I take my resume I carry my resume very proudly.
Oh, what do you mean wrestling is real?
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Don't say that in front of my son.
It is real. You should see the marks from the chops that I leave on people.
No, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Oh my God, I got a brutal chop.
But it was because, you know why they always say, oh, you know, wrestling's fake, right? Why do you do that? Don't hit me. Your parents are late. Hey, welcome to Too Hard, Too Fast podcast. In this episode, we're in for a treat, ladies and gentlemen. A year ago or 2 years ago, I confessed on this podcast a confession that I was kind of ashamed to say as an adult.
What is that?
I hope you're not offended. But I used to keep for the longest time secret that I was a wrestling fan.
I don't know why everybody does that.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, we'll talk about that.
It's not a kink or anything, you know what I mean?
No, right?
Wrestling.
Well, it's probably a real thing, and we'll get into it. But in today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, we have the Carbonation Sensation, SodaPop Hendrix himself.
He is NWA superstar, the Carbonation Sensation, Brandon, Texas, SodaPop.
Hey, what's going on? What's poppin'? How you doing? Thank you for having me.
No, man, thanks for being here. Thanks for having us here. We're at the Dogg Pound Dojo.
Yeah, we're at the Dogg Pound Dojo, so this is where I pretty much have learned everything that I've learned in the ring from beginning to end.
Nice.
Yep.
I'm gonna sweat throughout the whole episode, so bear with me.
Yeah, we're in the dojo. You know, AC, it's kind of grungy in here.
No, it's nice, dude. This is super exciting.
You were like, "How do you not sweat?" And I'm just like, "I don't know. I just relax, I guess."
I'm gonna not stop sweating at all. So we're gonna find out more about your story, how you got into wrestling. We'll talk about why I was not weirded out, but embarrassed at some point to say that I'm a wrestling fan. And we'll get to know more of you, and then we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's go. Sit back, buckle up. Let's go. Too hard, too fast.
Oh,
let's go.
Game, no shame, baby, came here to play. I feel like an addict.
It's the Carbonation Sensation, NWA's very own SodaPop, and you're going too hard, too fast.
Let's go. All right, SodaPop. Is it cool if I call you SodaPop?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that what it's usually like? Everybody, because I know you like. For your name, your wrestling name, it's most people. I don't know if it's when it's a two name, it's usually almost sounds like a real name, like Kevin Owens. Is that his real name? I don't know.
Well, so when I first started wrestling, it was SodaPop Hendrix.
Okay.
And then now it's just SodaPop.
So you don't go by Hendrix.
No, I'm like Cher, like Madonna. I just got one
oh,
name.
that's when you. Okay, that's how you know you're making it big.
Yeah, so
when you can go down to the.
Yeah, so it's just name. It's SodaPop. So everyone just calls me SodaPop, but it also just depends on what part of the U.S. I'm in. Mm-hmm. So when I go up north and stuff, they'll call me Pop.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? And then down here close to the south, I get Soda.
Yeah. You ever get Coca? Not like that.
Nah. I've never even gotten Coca, but it's hilarious because a lot of people send me soda memes.
Yeah.
And one of them was how soda is pronounced in the world.
Yeah.
And it was up north is Pop, down south is Soda. And it was Texas, and Texas is just Coke.
Coke. Yeah, that's what I meant. I'm from I grew up. Well, I was born in Mexico, but I grew up in a border town. So that's why I would call it una coca. Give me una coca.
What part of Mexico?
Right off of the border of Eagle Pass, Texas, Piedras Negras, Coahuila.
Okay, I've heard of it.
Yeah.
So I love Mexico. Like I grew up going in there like every summer and spent some Christmases.
Yeah.
So like my stepdad's from Mexico. So
Okay.
yeah. So I like to go to Mexico. We went to Monterrey a lot, but
Yeah.
I've been to like the real Monterrey.
The Monterrey.
the real Mexico,
Yeah.
where like you don't gotta leave the street because like right across the street there was like the tiendita, and then like next door was like the taqueria,
Yeah.
where you'd get like fresh tortillas in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
and there was like another like I remember like 2 houses down there was a lady that cut hair, and like maybe like on the corner there was like a clothing shop, so it was like in Mexico you didn't have to like leave.
Yeah, there's like it was what we call la vecindad, the neighborhood.
Yeah, like it was really like the barrio. Like, it was it.
the colonias is what
Yeah.
we call them, and that's where, whenever I was like, in Piedras, visiting my grandparents or my aunts, it was always you have to remember what colonia you're from, because that's the first thing people ask. Like, are you from San Antonio?
Yeah.
Originally, like born and raised?
Well,
Or you don't have? I don't know.
maybe.
Okay. No, well, the reason I ask is because like San Antonio people, since we are in San Antonio right now, the first question people ask are like, "What high school are you from?"
I went to high school here.
Well, what high school?
I went to Judson. So I was originally supposed to go to Wagner.
Mm.
And then I did like the career transfer program.
Yeah.
So I did mechanics. And then like right out of high school I joined the military. Went to the Marine Corps.
Oh,
And then
nice.
I was a mechanic in the Marine Corps.
Nice. Well, thanks for your service.
I appreciate it.
Well, since we're getting into it, I didn't want to jump in too quick, but it kind of like, since you went to the Marines and you were doing mechanics, what made you switch to wrestling, like, or
so
to become a wrestler?
I got tricked into being a wrestler. So basically, like, I wasn't in wrestling I wasn't doing like mechanic stuff when I started wrestling. What happened is I came back from the military and I kind of had a business of my own. I worked at like a mall kiosk kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, like during that time also, I was really big into like the San Antonio nightlife. I was a club promoter. I was an MC. I was a bar manager. I was a bar back. I kind of did a little bit of everything in the nightlife. And, you know, I met my wife in the nightlife, and then we stopped going to the nightlife. We started going to wrestling.
Mm.
I met like a long lost friend that I had some businesses with, and he was just like, "Yeah, man, like I'm doing wrestling. Like, come out, this, that, whatever." So
Like when you said you were doing wrestling or going to wrestling, like you were
I
going
was
to
a
the
fan.
shows? Okay.
Yeah, I was a fan. So I think my very first wrestling show on the independent circus, which I didn't even know existed, like I had no idea the indies existed or any of that. So he invited me to Austin, and then from Austin, I went to Wrestle Circus. It was like the very first show. I met Trey Miguel there. Had like, it was pretty dope. And then after that, I went to like Legacy 8 in LWA. And then after that, I just started like, I kind of traded going from the club on like Friday, Saturday, Sunday to going to the shows on Friday and Saturdays. It was better too because like I was in home before like 12 o'clock.
Yeah. You were all hungover the next day.
Well, I don't drink.
Oh, okay. See,
Yeah.
when you said that you were like the nightlife, my instinct said, yeah, I did the nightlife too.
Well,
I was like partying, not working.
Well, I did drink, and then like as I progressed and like as my relationship with my wife progressed, I kind of was just like, I don't want to drink. Like I don't even like drinking. I just drank because of the environment that was around me. And once I like kind of took myself out of that environment, I really had no urge to drink. Like I was never a guy that was like, oh, I want to get off of work and go have a beer.
Yeah.
Or like, hey, let's go out and have beers. Like it was just never really me.
Yeah, it was just because you were surrounded.
Yeah,
the
I was
time.
like social drinking. Like, hey, I'm gonna buy you a beer, cool. Or hey, I'm gonna get you a shot, cool. But like, even at that, like, I never liked the taste of liquor or alcohol.
Oh, dang, that's
That's
interesting.
not my.
So now, like, when you know how like every wrestler or every other wrestler has like their drinking stories, you just
I got other people's drinking stories.
You're the one that remembers.
Yeah, and sadly, sometimes I'm not DD for those.
Okay, but that's so. How did you get tricked into it? Besides, like, why do you feel you got tricked into it?
Well, I didn't really get tricked into it,
Oh.
but I kind of got like just lured in.
I just suckered you in. That's not.
Yeah, so my wife had a sister, and one of the wrestlers wanted to talk to my wife's sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so then he would come over a lot, like come over to the crib and we'd kick it. And he was just like, hey, let me train you. And it got to the point where I was like, well, if you're going to keep asking, like, might as well, like, let's go try it out.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then so, like, we tried it out and he never showed up.
For real.
Yeah, like, I'd just roll around with the other guys that came and this and that. And then, like, maybe, like, around that same time, that's when Rodney, my coaches, Rodney Mack and Jazz, opened up Dogg Pound. And I've been with them, like, since the first week that they've opened the school. And now we're, like, 4 years in.
So how long have you been training?
I've been training for 4 years, but I've been on the, like, active on the circuit for 3.
Okay. So I'll say this because I've seen your videos. And the reason.
Which ones?
Well, all of them, dude. I saw your modeling too. Yeah. No, you got.
That's a true fan when you know that I used to model.
Well, I do my research. I'm pretty good at what I do sometimes.
Hopefully you didn't pull up YouTube either.
Oh, no. I should have.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time on YouTube.
Yeah.
No, but that's why I found it interesting that you said you were doing mechanics and that you went to the Marines, and then just doing wrestling for 4 years. And I know that's a lot, and I don't mean any disrespect, but just saying just for 4 years. But
no, I completely understand.
What I mean is that from your videos on Instagram, you don't look like you're 4 years in. You look like you're 7, 10 years in.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Thank you. And that's why I know there's a lot of wrestlers, and I would love if anybody would want to be on this podcast. But when I was looking for somebody in wrestling, because I'm a wrestling fan, and we'll get into all that. Mm-hmm. But I wanted somebody that was like, I don't want to say legit, but had stories, had been around for a while. And obviously, I did not know that you're 4 years in.
But I got plenty of stories.
Yeah. Well, and you have that charisma, like that, where it's anybody, even me. I know I've been doing this for a while, and sometimes I still get nervous at my own cameras. But you don't look like you're nervous. And when you're out in the crowd, you look like you're there. Like you're really commanding the crowd. So that's why I was like, no, this guy has it. And I don't know what it is, but it seems like you have it.
Appreciate it.
And I'm not just saying that because you're on the podcast.
No, I actually I take my resume very I carry my resume very proudly. I am 4 years in, but 3 years on the circuit, and within those 3 years, I have touched or been able to work for, in any way, shape, form of capacity, for all of the major TV companies. I did extra work for WWE when they came down for the Royal Rumble. And then that's when I got to meet Bray Wyatt and have an amazing Bray Wyatt story for that. And then I worked for Impact, where I was one of Trey Miguel's, the Spider, when he was doing the multiverse for Impact. And he would,
I'm gonna say this, and some people might get upset, but I'm realistic to a lot of WWE.
No, I get it.
But I try to watch Impact just because now there's a lot more wrestlers that I knew from WWE in there. So now I try to watch that. So some of the newer wrestlers in Impact I may not know too much about. But so I don't know Trey Miguel.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, he's just a really good guy. He's from the Rascals. Really great group. But yeah, so I did some stuff for him when I was at Impact, and then I ran the ring crew and did stuff like that. Of course, now I'm on the roster for NWA. Mm-hmm. I did some stuff for New Japan when they came down for WrestleMania. And like also helped out with some production stuff back at like AEW. Just like minor things, but like
how do you get in and like for anybody that would be interested that may be watching like or that it is in the indies, how do you get into doing that kind of work, like for your WWE to consider you to do extra work? Or
well, a lot of credit I really have to give to my coaches. My coaches are very well connected, and I believe that when you surround yourself with the right people, the opportunities just come. Like I had this honestly, this is like really kind of interesting. I had this conversation kind of earlier with a friend of mine. We were at the mall and we were shopping, and he was just kind of like, why you? Like, why did you get all these opportunities? And I told him, like, I was just there. Like, anywhere my coaches went, I was there. One thing about wrestling that I think is very interesting is when you look at any other combat sport or any sport in general, the athlete builds a bond and a relationship with the coach to where, like, they pretty much live together. They travel together. They do this, they do that together, this, that, whatever. And for the past 3 years, this is what I've done with Coach Rodney and Jazz. Like, I've literally shadowed them or followed them. Even if I wasn't booked on a show, like, I went.
Yeah.
I was on the road, and then something happened. Something happened. And then, like, I showed I had some sense. I had, like, common sense, which is, like, missing a lot of time in just everyday life. So, yeah, when, like, you know, I was just fortunate that those opportunities did come up. And when they came up, I was there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of guys don't feel like they have to do, like, just because we live in a modern era with social media doesn't mean that you still have to put in the work on the road to be as successful in this business as you actually need to.
Yeah. So that makes a lot of sense, especially from an outsider. So I hear a lot of the stories, or I watch a lot of stories from wrestlers that made it big time and then didn't last. And a lot of times that the reason that they give is because they didn't put in not necessarily the work, but it was like that extra stuff, like helping out, figuring out what, you know, learning from somebody else, or just seeing how they can just help in general.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like a lot of people don't know this, but I take pride in this. I know it might sound like I'm belittling myself or this, that, whatever, like I'm discrediting myself, but like I 100% have a job at NWA because I can make sure coffee gets there on time. Or because I can make sure like the catering food order is correct. Yeah. Or because
whatever's going to get the show
going. That's exactly what I need. And then like I always tell a lot of guys when they ask me, they're like, hey, what do I need to know about this business or this, that, whatever. Like I got commandments. Like I have it literally in my phone. I have wrestling commandments.
That you wrote or from other?
No, that I've written. But it's just tips from other people too. Yeah. But it's just like, these are like my 10 rules. Like if you follow, like you'll be good. But a lot of them is once you understand the needs of the business. Like I took that from the military, was like, it doesn't matter what you want to do. Mm-hmm. It's whatever the business needs. If we need a tag team that night, hey brother, guess what? You and that guy, you're a tag team. If you need me to, you know, help build somebody or put somebody over, like let's do it. Whatever you need. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of guys kind of get into this thing of like, well, I want to be portrayed in this light or this or that or whatever. Like that's cool. Like I get everybody has this vision for themselves and you want to be a star and this and that, and that's great. But if I can pay my bills consistently and have a job, I don't care what you need me to do. Yeah. Like I've had nothing. I've had literal nothing. So the last thing I'm going to do is complain because my boss wants me to do something.
Or go back to that.
Yeah, Like, you know what I mean? So once a lot of guys learn that, like, it's whatever the business needs, you will succeed in this business 100%.
Is it, is there a fear that if you are doing those, you know, whatever the person needs, whatever the business needs, that eventually, or this is what I wonder a lot too, what they call the jobber kind of thing.
But what is that?
Well, isn't it like, to somebody that, to me, from an outsider, it means that the guy that just goes and loses the match.
Okay.
But
now let me ask you a question. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. Like, I love that term. Like, oh, he's a jobber. Well, yeah, he has a job on television doing what the boss told him. And a lot of times the guys that call the guy the jobber are the guys that aren't on TV.
Yeah, on the couch.
They're the guys that want to be there. Like, man, okay, cool. You want to call it a jobber. Like, I honestly don't know, like, a lot of the history or, like, why it's called that or this or whatever. Yeah. But to me, it's honestly just, like, a whack term. Like, if you're still using that terminology to describe somebody.
Dang.
But I'm going to keep it real.
No, yeah.
Like, you're mad because a guy has a contract or he has a job and he's going out there to go do his job.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so let's just keep it real. The same guys that say that are probably the same guys that are quick to go to AEW Dark and go job for AEW just to go be on TV.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
Wait. Say that again. I don't.
So, like, okay, so AEW Dark, when that would happen, you know what I mean? When that was going on, they were getting a lot of the local talent. Well, as a wrestling fan, like, think about it. Why would you even watch it?
Yeah, like if there's a local guy that...
You already know the local guy's going under.
Lose, yeah.
Yeah. So if you're going to sit there and call the other guys on TV like jobbers, what's the difference?
I think as a fan, so I'm saying as a fan, whenever they do that, it kind of takes away the fun from the fan perspective. Meaning, like, let's say me, if I'm trying to break into the wrestling business, that's exactly where I want to put my foot in. Mm-hmm. But as a fan, I'm watching and I'm seeing, oh, Stone Cold is coming out with this guy that, you know, they didn't really name him, and he's just gonna pin him. It kind of takes the fun because I want to watch like a good match.
And see, so like I think back in the day they used to have really good matches doing that.
Maybe. Well, the only reason I bring that up is because, like, as a fan, like, I can see, like you said, the ones that are saying that are the ones on the couch, wishing they were there or thought one day they could be a wrestler. But they kind of, I will include myself too, because I sometimes hate it because it's, where was I going?
I just feel like there's a time and a place for it.
Okay.
Like, I feel like every now and then you need somebody to get a win or two. Yeah. Go ahead, throw them in there. But every show we have 4 or 5 dark matches with local talent. Like, if you're gonna sit there and call people jobbers,
yeah,
like, what's the difference between the guy getting a paycheck doing it every week?
Yeah,
look at me. I'm gonna tell you straight up. Triple H called me right now and said, "Hey man, I'm giving you X amount of dollars to make sure your family's 100% taken care of, but I need you to come and lose for 2 years." I'm there.
Yeah,
I am there.
I guess the scary part is that
I'm there.
Or where's your build then? Like, yeah, you're
what about me?
Would you want to?
What about me? My wife's taken care of. My house is being paid for. My bills are taken care of. Yeah. I'm not in a horrible financial state. What build? I built my family.
Okay. Yeah, I get it from that perspective, but
like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, let's just keep it real. What build? Because
most wrestlers would like to, and I'm saying my thing is, if I'm trying to put myself in your shoes, like, I eventually want to be the Triple H.
Oh, absolutely. Right? I would gladly love to do that too. So I'm not saying I'm not gonna want to do that. What I'm saying is I'm not gonna discredit myself if that's what the job requires me to do.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. One thing I learned about wrestling, and, like, I don't know if I'll catch heat for this or not, but the paycheck's the same. Win or lose, paycheck is the same. Your fee is your fee. It does not matter. You want me to go out there and put on a comedy show for you? If that's what you're paying me to do, that's what you're paying me to do. Let's go do it.
Yeah.
And I will do that to the best of my abilities and to the way of the story that you want me to tell.
Does it would it ever bother you? Like, I don't want to be known for this. Like, and I'll say it for this.
Yeah. I have some of that.
Well, because as a podcaster, I do have these serious conversations, even though this is supposed to be also a little bit comedic.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be known as the funny guy on the internet.
Yeah. Like with wrestling, when I first started wrestling, is I told myself I didn't want to be known as a high flyer. Like, I'm 175, 5'8", you know what I mean? I'm not trying to, I don't want to be known as like, oh, he's the like next Rey Mysterio, or he's a cruiserweight, or he's that, or this, that, whatever. Like, nah, I know how to wrestle.
Yeah.
So I was really fortunate that when we first started the dojo, we were stuck in a building that had like a very low ceiling. So I was forced to learn how to like wrestle and really understand the true psychology of like wrestling and mat wrestling and like where spots fit in and stuff like that. And so I think I still get a little offended, like if somebody comes to me and they're like, oh, he's a high flyer, and I'm like, you've never seen one of my matches before. I'm like, I 100% know that you have never seen one of my matches before.
Yeah, that's interesting that you would get offended with that, because over being called a jobber.
Yeah, you know why?
Because you have a job.
Because you have a job.
But,
have you ever not had a job before? It's not a great feeling.
Not fun. No, it's not fun. But so I maybe because I felt like the high flyers were like mostly the Hispanics, and I don't know your background.
Oh, I hate that word.
What, Hispanics?
Yeah.
Mexicans? Should I say Mexicans?
No,
I'm Mexican.
I'm Puerto Rican and Mexican.
Oh, okay.
But like, I just hate that word.
What's the better word?
I like Latino.
Oh, the only reason I don't consider myself Latino is because I was born in Mexico.
But that's a Latin-speaking country.
But Latino, from what I heard, this is too hard, too fast. We don't check facts, but from from
too hard, too fast at the knowledge. We're not double checking the facts.
Exactly.
No hard facts here.
No, you throw out the facts, but we're not checking them. Somebody else can. From my understanding, a Latino would be somebody that is of a Spanish-speaking country descent, but was U.S. born.
See that?
And I could be wrong, but last time I checked, I thought that's what I read.
This is how I look at it. If you come from a Latino-speaking country, or if your like origin or nationality or ethnicity is of a Latino-speaking country, you're a Latino. I do not like the word Hispanic. I might get a little political when I get this, or I don't like. Honestly, I don't care how people feel when I say this.
Yeah.
But like, what is a Hispanic? Like, who invented that word?
I don't know.
It was like, in my understanding, it's pretty much just a classification on a sheet of paper for me. It's just another box that I have to check. When on top of that, I can't even check Latino. I have to check white.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? So to me, I just prefer to be called a Latino. It's universally known, like, I'm Latino. Like, yeah. I don't know. Hispanic is just kind of like, I don't know. It just makes me feel like I'm being classified.
Maybe. I don't know.
It's something to think about.
It is something to ponder on. And I try to, like, I think about this often, actually, just because I was born from Mexico, in Mexico. I've never considered myself.
So would you like to be called Mexican or Hispanic?
I like to be called brown-word. I usually say like, oh, Mexican. I'll go Mexican, but then I am Mexican American, so then I'll go. Depends where I'm at, actually, and who I'm being questioned by.
Yeah, you see, but do you see what I'm saying? It's just like, and then I feel like if I'm saying Hispanic, I'm like Hispanic. Like, it's just it gives me asco.
And I've heard the term or the thought process of like, it's because it's like his panic, like you're panicking somebody else. But I don't know if you're
toxica.
Yeah.
That's toxica. Well, we are in San Antonio.
Yeah, no, but what going back to the whole high flying thing though.
Yeah.
To me, seeing Rey Mysterio, seeing Juventud Guerrero, seeing Eddie Guerrero, like those were people I ended up relating to. Yeah, my favorite wrestler was Stone Cold, maybe Shawn Michaels, all that, just because they were like the guys.
Yeah.
But seeing them and being known as high flyers, I thought it was like so cool because they're doing the crazy shit, you know.
I look up to those guys, but like, I think it's just I don't want to be classified.
Yeah, no, and
in general. But Eddie Guerrero is my 100% favorite. Like, that's my guy.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Practice is about to start, so we got people covered in.
Oh, okay. Should I go?
No. You're fine.
Okay. But so I always took it as high praise. Being a high flyer, but I can see that you don't want to be just known as the high flyer. You want to be known as I would say the main event, the whole thing.
Yeah, that too, but it's just also like wrestling goes 365, 52 weeks a year. If I get hurt, and this is what I now rely for my family to get paid on, like I really think about a lot of stuff like that. So a lot of the moves and a lot of move sets that I do, I really try to consider like,
Yeah.
what is my like likability to get hurt doing this move? So like Soda has a rule. Like a lot of people hate it, but it's my rule. Soda doesn't fly, Soda doesn't dive, cause Soda don't want to die.
That's good. Man.
Yeah, I don't fly, dive, or die,
good.
brother. Like
Yeah.
You could keep all that. You could do it. Save it for the next match. Like, not me.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I think, and also now that it's like the newer guys, as people say. Again, this is just an outsider looking in. But what the wrestlers talk about right now on the internet is that the newer guys, they're a lot smarter with their body versus the older guys, the ones we probably grew up watching. They were doing the craziness, and getting injured more often.
Yeah, and I think, and I may be wrong, but like I think that like the sport of wrestling, of professional wrestling, has like transited into a sport. Like back then, I believe it was more of like a fraternity, more of like a brotherhood thing of like it's a pack. Once you're in, you're in. Da, da, da. And it's still mostly definitely like that. But I think now it's progressed to like an athletic mindset of things of like, I got to train. I got to like stretch well. I'm going to the chiropractor. Like, I think guys are more looking at it like how a football player or an NBA player kind of takes care of their body.
Yeah, how to prolong it.
Yeah, and then also like sports medicine, medicine science. A lot of that stuff has really progressed in the last. I mean, think about it. Just in 5 years, it progresses. So.
Yeah. Working and then okay, correct me. Is indie correct way to describe like the local circuits, or is that?
Yeah. So. Yeah. You could say anything that's on the independent circuit is an indie show. But I always like to say this. Just because you're an independent show doesn't mean you have to operate like an indie show.
Explain. What's the...
Just because
what would be the indie show operation that you shouldn't or try to...
Well, I mean, just because it's the indies and you're not recording for television, this and that, I mean, still have your match card in order, brother. Still have someone working the music right. You know what I mean? Like, don't just let everybody in the back, stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
have it organized.
Yeah, have it organized. So I always like to say, like, just because it's an independent show doesn't mean you have to treat it like an indie show.
Yeah.
And that's for the boys, too.
Well, no, and that makes sense. I remember as a kid, I was probably... My son's off camera. He's here. He's a wrestling fan as well. But I think I was about his age. He's about 6 right now, about to be 7. My uncle took me to an indie show, and that was my first exposure to wrestling. Yeah. And it was chaos, but in a good way.
I hear that all the time. But like as a fan, that's just lovely.
Yeah. I was like whoa, like they're in the crowd, like they're jumping on people. And
like when I was a fan, it was great. Now that it'll be in my work environment, I'm like, this is stressful. I bet. Oh my god, this is stressful. Yeah.
No, but that was my first exposure, and then that's when I got into like WWE, WCW, but when I went to my first WWE show, I think I was more around 13, maybe even 16, and it felt different. Yeah, but because it was not that they were disconnected, like they still worked the crowd. You know, but it wasn't like the indies where they're right there in your face and they're like looking at you, like they're staring at you and you're like no don't pick me, like you're trying to hide like in the back of the classroom, like no, but that's where I was like, no, that's what I liked, and it didn't translate to my first event, so I kind of left my first WWE event kind of like that was cool because I got to see like my favorite wrestlers, but it was different.
You prefer indie shows?
I'm a fan now as an older guy.
You like the prices?
I like them both. I equally like. I think each one has
their place.
Yeah.
I love like the local indie shows too, and like I'll be telling, especially the really good ones that are like really put together. I love the Dogg Pound shows that we put together for people. I love telling the fans, and they're like, well, like I want to go, and I'm like, well, come on. And I was like, it's better than the club. Mm-hmm. We got food, we got drinks. You had a bad day at work, had a bad week at work, come yell at us.
Yeah.
And then you get to go home before like 8 o'clock. Like it's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. And then that is the cool part, is that like it allows for that. Like, I remember, este vato from work, and like, I'm going to take it out on this guy.
Yeah.
Even though, I mean,
do people don't get in the ring?
Well, I was going to say that. Do people kind of cross the line? Because if they cross the line in the big shows, do they feel like it's a lot
I
more
have
loud?
I have seen my coach punch out a fan.
Nice.
Oh yeah. There's a video.
Did you try to get in the ring? Or?
I was a referee at the time, and I just was in the back, and I just let that happen.
No. But they tried to get in the ring, or they?
No. So they were walking. It was like when he was part of Privilege in SWE, and like I think there was a situation with the fans like pushing Charlie Haas back and forth, this and that. And then my coach just, whoop-a-ya!
What's the role on that? Like, what happens in that situation? It's just
I don't know.
It's just like, nah, man, he deserved it, and then he gets kicked out.
Probably.
Okay, good. So it's a double loss. You get knocked out and kicked out.
Yeah, I've never been in that situation. I've been pretty. Remember that common sense statement earlier?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. A lot of common sense. Well, I was just wondering, because there's a lot of fans that kind of take it too much.
Yeah.
But you guys bring it out of us.
I hope not. I'm one of the good guys.
Yeah. No. The whole crowd likes you. Like, again, like if anybody's watching, whoever's watching this, your Instagram is pretty wild with.
Yeah, you can find me SodaPop Hendrix, SodaPop Hendrix. Look right here.
Perfect. Yeah, you got it.
Yep. And then you can watch us on YouTube. If you look up Dogg Pound Dojo on YouTube, we have weekly episodes of Paradox. So our live events are tapings for those episodes.
Your live events are tapings for those episodes. What does Paradox mean to you guys?
What do you mean?
Because I've like the word paradox. Like, why do you guys call it Paradox?
It was Paradox because when we first started, it was a rock concert and a wrestling show at the same time.
Okay, that one's more for me. I always wonder, because I see the like the banners or the things, the social media stuff, and I was like,
yeah. So I actually make the flyers, and then like one day I was just looking at logos and stuff and like what's the name of the show, and then I came across the Paradox, and then I kind of messed with it, and I was like, oh, this is a nice logo, and then I told the coaches, I was like, this needs to be like our Raw or our SmackDown or whatever. Yeah,
and the reason I asked is because I got curious for the name, but like to me, Paradox means, and I could be incorrect with the meaning, but like you're stepping into something different, to like a whole different realm.
Yeah, it's like being completely out of whack and something like that. Yeah, I think when I looked it up too, I was like, this is perfect because it was like rock and wrestling like mixed together.
So I know I don't want to keep too much. I know you have practice.
Oh, we're fine.
Okay. Yeah. The name SodaPop Hendrix, very very unique. Doesn't seem gimmicky.
Nah, it's my name.
How did
de verdad.
No.
Well,
how did then if so, then you were born with it.
I was born that way, brother.
I was gonna ask how it came up, but
no tomo.
No, just soda pop.
Yeah, no tomo. So when we would go out and drink soda or whatever, just kind of like my hair started growing out around that time, and I looked like a greaser.
I feel. What's a greaser?
What is a greaser? Yeah. Oh my God! You never seen The Outsiders? The greaser, brother. The white shirts, the black pants, slick back hair, the grease. Danny Zuko.
Oh, okay.
Oh, grease lightning. No.
Yeah. No, I get it. When I hear greaser, it's like the gel, like when you're like completely.
Yeah.
Okay.
My hair was like that when it was first
growing back.
Yeah, because my hair used to grow forward, and then I wanted to train it to go back, so I was slicking it back.
Oh, okay.
Pushing it back.
Do you hate being compared to other wrestlers?
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
Hell no.
Okay. So then the reason I asked this is
Well, it
because,
depends who you.
Okay. Well, this is not mine. This is not my comparison. But when I showed my son, it's like, hey, this is who we're gonna get to meet and talk to.
Yeah.
I showed him your videos, and he goes, "Wow, he looks like Damian Priest."
You know, I've gotten that one. I've gotten Damian Priest. I've gotten and I know I'm gonna get a lot of heat for this one, but I've gotten that my facial structure looks like Roman Reigns.
Okay.
Yeah. But also, you said, Damian Priest. If you honestly look at it, Damian Priest and Roman look a lot
similar. Yeah.
Yeah, they look a lot alike. So I've gotten that, and then I just get reminders. It's not wrestling, but everybody's like, oh, you remind me of Floyd the way you act, or oh, you remind me of Connor by the way you look. Especially because they have the big owl chest piece.
Oh yeah.
So I get Connor a lot, a lot.
That's funny.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, that's what he said. I was like, dude, when he said it, I was like, okay, I can see it. And
It's the braids.
Probably.
Yeah, because he I don't know if he still does, but he used to do the.
I think he still does.
Yeah, the long braids. But shout out to my people, mi gente. You know what I mean?
He's Puerto Rican too.
Yeah,
so
brother.
There you go.
He's the first Puerto Rican of the modern WWE
to be champ. Yeah.
Congratulations! If you're hearing this, Damian Priest, I'm very proud.
Tag him. Somebody tag him. Everything.
I'm
Damian
very,
Priest.
very, very. Hell yeah, bro! I'm rooting for you, mi gente.
But see, that's what
I had a proud moment right there.
Yeah, man, I bet.
Yeah.
So that's what I meant when I seeing Rey Mysterio and all that. We're I can connect with that. I'm not a wrestler, and I wouldn't be. I couldn't hack it. I wouldn't be able to do it, but I still saw myself in him. You know.
Yeah, and then what's interesting is I went I was watching it, and when it happened, what's funny is everybody was oh, Damian Priest, and I'm I'm over here on Google, I'm pretty sure he's the first Puerto Rican. I'm let me make sure before I make the statement.
Yeah. No, I see. Sometimes it does pay off to check facts. What is your typical, not move, set move, but the moves that you do? Do you think about oh, I gotta hit these moves when I'm no, because I always you know how they talk about the signature moves, the moves.
I have a couple my go-tos, but I hate that term finisher and stuff like that. I know it sounds so cliche, but it's if we're gonna make wrestling real, right? You want us to make it as real as possible, then I should be able to finish a match differently every time.
Oh, what do you mean wrestling is real?
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Don't say that in front of my son.
It is real. You should see the marks from the chops that I leave on people.
No, that's what I'm saying, dude.
Oh my god, I got a brutal chop.
And that's, dude. So that's one thing that when I was telling my friends, I'm gonna interview a wrestler for the podcast. They're like, dude, you're gonna have him chop you? Fuck no.
Nah.
No, definitely not.
I've seen a couple of my matches back where I've chopped someone, and then my opponent's checking to see if they have blood.
No, yeah, I'm no, I don't want to do that.
I split open a couple of people.
Yeah, no, dude, I bet just to make that sound, even to come through the TV, I'm no, I don't need that in my life.
It's great.
It's I'll leave it for the professionals.
Sometimes you need it just to realign
just
your
to
body.
Wake you up.
Every bone crack is great.
No, not me, man. I appreciate what you guys do way too much, and I don't need it.
Appreciate it.
But do you say that you hate these terms because you hear it from other wrestlers or from fans? And then from fans, I think we say it because that's what we're used to as outsiders, or at least for me.
I don't even think it's neither. I think it's just the psychology of it all. Of just when you watch a UFC fight, right? Does the person win the same way every time?
Oh yeah, I guess not.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Think of Connor, right? Let's just, because I brought him up earlier, but let's just think of Connor. Every time Connor wins a fight, is it always the same?
No, but sometimes I do expect Connor to do a heel kick. Right.
That's why I'm kind of eh.
Yeah.
So I got some go-to stuff that I'll do in my matches, but as far as oh, I gotta hit this move as the finish, I'm always open to whatever.
Mm. So you wouldn't say, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna use it, but so you wouldn't say you have a finisher?
I have one, but it's I don't use it as the
like to end the match, you won't use.
No, like
unless
I do,
it's,
like
it's organically. There.
No. Like I use it to end some matches, but it's not like every time I have a match, I'm like
Gonna use it.
This is it, yeah.
Okay.
But it's the Texas Cloverleaf. I call it the Princess Throne.
Princess Throne, but it's the Texas.
Well, I'm the Prince of Texas.
What makes you the Prince of Texas? I know you got the championship, and there was you were the first to get the NWA or the junior.
No. So I'm the inaugural Dogg Pound Junior.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the inaugural DPCW World Junior Heavyweight Champion, and I'm the inaugural TSW Junior Heavyweight Champion. I was
gonna get the.
But I earned that title. After I wrestled Barrett Brown. So Barrett Brown was the king of Texas.
Oh, okay. Oh, so that's
So Barrett Brown was the king of Texas. I was the Prince of the Pound because of the Dogg Pound.
Yeah.
When I wrestled Barrett and that match happened, a lot of the fans changed it from the Prince of the Pound to the Prince of Texas.
That's awesome.
So the Prince of Texas, brother. Put some respect on it.
Yeah. No, man. That's
and I will put my honoree and title and prestige up to anybody who has a problem with it. And that's just
like they can challenge you for it.
Hey, do whatever they want for it. We could come in this ring. We could wrestle. We could do it arm wrestle. We could do whatever you want.
Let's go, baby. No. I don't even know.
But yeah, man, I just
dude, that's legit. That's pretty awesome. And so because you do travel quite a bit.
Yep.
I
travel so much that I really don't get to work the independent scene at all. I do NWA, TSW, and Dogg Pound. And between those three, I barely get a chance to maybe fit like one or two more other independent shows in there.
Yeah. How do you?
I'm booked like every weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you manage that? Like, or to even know? Because I imagine
I have a wife.
That does help.
Like,
that does help.
I have a wife. Like, how do I explain it? Yeah, she helps me pack. She holds my calendar. She has my schedule. She does all that. It's great.
But what I'm getting at is I would imagine for Dogg Pound there's a storyline that you're working. Mm-hmm. If you go to TSW, NWA, there would be different storylines, or how do you manage that?
You just show up, do your job on the day of. Wrestling is a lot of like just do what you're told.
Okay.
Like you show up, they'll tell you what your promo needs to be about, so go do your promo about that. And then you talk to your agent, they tell you what your match needs to be about. Have your match like that. Have your match and get out safely. Have some pizza, go home. It's great. It's a great day.
Nice.
Wrestling is like a lot of people put on stress that they really don't need.
That's where I'm at. And that's why I'm having like a lot of issues with like understanding or giving the right questions.
Yeah.
I've also seen like the interviews that go wrong with wrestlers. So I'm definitely want to show my appreciation for what for what you guys do.
You don't want to get slapped.
No, but like I said, I don't need that in my life. I want to keep this as a friendship. No, but that's why I'm like I want to make sure I respect what I'm saying, because I felt like I got a little chippy right there when I said jobber.
Nah, you didn't. You didn't. I hate when people say that word. It's
no, but it makes sense now.
But it's a lot of like, even just like wrestlers, like a lot of the boys in the business will use that term, and it's just like, bro, dude has a job on TV. Mm-hmm. Your promo picture's not even shot in like 1080p. Like,
no,
you can't even go get a proper promo picture, and you're complaining about the dude on TV. Like, yeah, brother.
Yeah, no, it makes sense.
Humble yourself, my friend.
No, and I get it, like, you know, when the fan is using it and dogging on it, you know, it's worse, I think, now that the way you put it.
Everybody's so soft now, bro. This is what it is.
Yeah,
it's so soft.
Yeah, no, but that's how we use it as fans, like, oh, the jobber, you know, here he comes. But now that you're saying, it's like, dude, we're on the couch watching the jobber.
My man's making sure his bills are paid.
Yeah. It's like we're still trying to figure it out over here.
Absolutely.
No, but no, I get it now. All right, two more questions. The last one's gonna be for your Too Hard Too Fast story. But I've always wondered, like, when you're going for a title, what is that feeling like? Regardless of what the promotion is or which promotion it is, what's that feeling like?
It's an honor. It's an honor and a privilege. Like, a lot of people don't understand, like, I take titles seriously in this business. Just because like those are accomplishments, those are pinnacles, you know what I mean? You want to come into a company and ultimately be put as the guy or the guy that they can trust in. So like when the company finally instills that trust in you, to me it's just great. It was an honor. Like, let's do it. And then on top of that, it's like such a motivation factor. They're like, I'll be having it in my head like, yeah, nobody's taking this from me.
Yeah.
I'll go home and work 10 times harder. Like, you're going to have to prove that another guy is better than me just to want to take this off of me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I personally feel like when I have a belt, I do everything all I can with it. Like when I had the TSW belts and the Dogg Pound belt, because I was a double champ at the time. I had both of them. And when I did that, like I took it out of state, defended it over like 10 promotions. I put in a music video that now has like 2 million views with a rapper that's like on the rise right now. You know what I mean? I got to wrestle that rapper in the belt. Like, yeah, so just like I did a lot of things with it. I wrestled TJP and defended my belt against him.
So who's TJP? Just for people that don't know.
TJP from WWE, TJ Perkins. He was like in the cruiserweight classic or division.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a Filipino guy, has like the Filipino.
Oh,
style.
yeah, that's something a little more familiar.
Yeah. Now he's in New Japan.
Okay.
But yeah, so just in general, like I
you get to.
I do stuff with my belts, my man.
Yeah, no, that
So I take those as
yeah.
Those are my cojones right there.
Is there anybody that doesn't? Like, I would imagine.
I don't know. Everybody's different. I'm not speaking to everybody. Don't give me no heat.
Well, no, I'm saying, I'm not saying like name names. But I wonder like if somebody's like, oh yeah, I got it. Here we go.
I mean, there's a couple.
I
of
can
people.
imagine that.
There's a couple of people.
Okay.
But it's with everything.
Yeah.
In everyday life, people get accomplishments and then they feel like they don't have to work anymore. This is what it is.
Okay. Yeah, I guess it's different in perspectives.
Yeah.
Do you get to carry those titles when you travel, or?
Yeah, I carried them everywhere when I went. I took them
Is it
everywhere.
stressful not to lose them?
Nah. It's kind of fun. Like, I even take them out the car. Like, if I go somewhere and they're in the car, I take them out just because I don't want them to get stolen. Yeah, so, like, I used to go into restaurants all the time and have them with me.
Nice. Yeah, that's where
I get a lot of free stuff.
Yeah, I was going to say. They're very eye-catching and conversation starters.
Absolutely.
For your Too Hard, Too Fast story, funny story, maybe something that's happened in the ring, cautionary tale, or words of wisdom, whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
I do it words of wisdom. This is kind of like what I like to tell everybody. This is like how I live my life. And I just like hope everybody else can take the positivity or the motivation or whatever you need to take from this statement, but nothing lasts forever. So it's just like, this has gotten me through life a lot. If you're hurting, you're going through a period of time where you're depressed or your financial statement's not there, like nothing lasts forever. You're going to get through it. Like, you know what I mean?
Good or bad.
It just doesn't last. So just weather the storm.
Yeah. Or enjoy it.
Yeah, or enjoy it.
Yeah.
And then just live every day like one step at a time, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, definitely. And that's kind of like the belief here for me on Too Hard, Too Fast. The Too Hard, Too Fast, yeah, we're going fast in our life. So the term Too Hard, Too Fast was kind of brought up as a reminder to people, hey, too hard, too fast. Meaning you're going too hard, too fast.
Chill out.
Chill out. Enjoy the
rehab,
moment.
brother.
Yeah. Enjoy, or that. But enjoy the moment, man. Enjoy the moment.
Yeah. So that was it.
I enjoyed this moment. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you coming through, man. Enjoyed you and your little boy over here.
Thank you. No, he was
hanging out with us this entire time. You want to come on the camera? No.
Yeah. No, he doesn't like but no, I appreciate it. This is awesome. It's great for him. It's great for me because this is my first time in a ring.
Oh, for
so it was his first time in a ring, and I got to enjoy that through his eyes as well. So
awesome. Yeah, y'all need to come to the next show.
Oh, for sure. We're gonna make it to the bigs.
Live in Biggs Burger Joint, right there over UTSA Boulevard in I-10. Be there or be square.
But be there.
We'll be there.
No, man. They look great. Well, with that said, man, again, like I said, I would love to have you back on also if you would like to come back on. But,
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I appreciate that.
Whenever you're ready, just give me a call. We'll come back and hang out.
It's cemented. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna bother you.
You gotta buy me dinner before a second date.
Okay, I can do that. I'll bring it on. We'll eat together. But with that said, remember, dare to be you, dare to be weird. Bye. Oh, we never even talked about why I was embarrassed to be a wrestling fan. But it was because, you know why they always say, oh, wrestling's fake, right? Why do you do that?
Did you know that your parents' relationship was fake? Did you know that the divorce was fake? Did you know that your aunt's not really your aunt? That's your dude's soncha?
Well, that's the only reason. And you know what? Now I'm not embarrassed about it. I'm a fan.